There we go. There we go. Reading. I like reading. Do you like reading?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
Oh, maybe it's a good time to start. Do you know anything about John Clare? Nobody does. Nobody does. Well, anyway, it's called Autumn. It's sort of summer. It's sort of autumn nature. Like today.
Like today.
Like today.
The calendar, and the atmosphere, and the weather.
Can you feel the new year coming? 1st of September, New Year.
Yes.
Oh, Happy New Year upcoming. It's a new year. People are stupid to celebrate in the middle of winter. That's a real new year. So anyway, let's have a look. Autumn. Let's read it.
Let's read it.
The thistledowns flying, though the winds are all still. On the green rocks now lying, now mounting the hill. The spring from the fountain now boils like a pot. Through stones past the counting, it bubbles red hot. The ground parched and cracked is like overbaked bread. The greensward all rafted, banks dried up and dead. The fallow fields glitter like water indeed, and gossamers glitter, flung from weed unto weed. Hilltops like hot iron glitter bright in the sun, and the rivers we're eyeing burn to gold as they run. Burning hot is the ground, liquid gold is the air. Whoever looks round sees eternity there. I think it's a beautiful poem. Just feel this heat of a lovely late autumn, early autumn, late summer day. Can you see? Can you see what he's trying to describe here?
I think I can feel the heat, as you say. I can also see, or at least glimpse, something that is sort of a reflection. There's lots of things that are glittering, things that
gold, glitter, like water.
Yeah, something which reminds of crystals, something which reminds of, I don't know, probably not precious stones, because stones are not mentioned, but something that...
We have stones.
We have stones.
We have all sorts of things. We have lots of things here. He doesn't focus on any one object. He just looks around and he tells you what he can see.
Which makes it very beautiful.
Yeah, because he can see little things and big things.
Is it like zooming in, zooming out?
Yeah. It's like having a camera and using it wisely. Okay, the thistledowns flying. That's how you start this little poem. It's only like 3 stanzas, it's not very big.
It's not very big.
So if you want to put everything in one little poem to describe this special day when it's not cold autumn, but it's already past summer, what do you put into it?
I don't know. Traditionally, when you think of autumn, you think of yellow leaves. Yellow is the key word.
Yellow.
You think of the days that can be a bit cold, or you sometimes think of rain, and so that sort of thing. And I'm not really sure that's what we find in here.
We don't have any leaves of falling and death of falling.
There's water, but there's nothing about rain in the poem. So it's a sunny day, and it's a sunny poem. It's not something. Sometimes We
You
began by
think it's not a typical autumn poem?
I don't know. I think it,
Well,
it
you
depends.
know poems
It
about
depends.
autumn, just lyrical poems about autumn. Well, sometimes we have poems and they have action.
When
Yes, lyrical.
we began, there was controversy. There's always a controversy when we speak.
Yes, that's interesting.
Because all right. And you said Happy New Year, and I said.
Oh, some people are never
Because
happy.
the thing is that some poets probably, or some people probably, think of autumn as something bad, ugly, or depressing. Some
you
poets,
know-
like John Clare, think of it as a
Something
golden
new and
opportunity.
shiny.
Golden is in the poem.
It's like,
something like shining.
you read Red Bradbury. No, Red Bradbury. And he's a big fan of summer. And it's like, oh, summer ends and your childhood ends. And autumn in a person's life. Autumn,
Yeah,
I think, oh, it's when
traditionally,
you get old,
Yeah, so
or
that's old
middle-aged,
age.
old.
While winter
Not
symbolizes
winter.
basically.
Yeah, when you're nearly dead, that's winter. Or when you're dead, that's winter.
That's winter. So for many people, then autumn is something they want to avoid thinking about.
Yeah.
And for many people, indeed, autumn and winter, physical autumn and winter, are something that they want to avoid. That's why they migrate to places where there's no autumn, no winter. That's not the case
Yeah.
with John.
Alright. One thing we think about autumn is leaves falling. That's the most typical image for autumn. We don't have it here.
We don't have it here.
Another typical thing we think is harvest. Do we have it here? Autumn is practical time.
Fallen fields.
Follow means
Fallen means
follow. Follow means if you talk about the field, you say follow. It means usually you cultivate this field, but this year you let it rest.
yeah.
You don't do
So it's a
anything.
system. It's a system that's.
It's a field which
The grass
is
to
usually
produce, yeah.
cultivated, but this year you just leave it alone.
That's what I
which
thought.
is a good thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, good practice.
People don't do it now because they're greedy and stupid. Well, not always. Most people, I guess. Well, anyway.
Looking
Thistle
suspicious.
down
Looking
line.
suspicious.
Are you a farmer? By any chance?
Do I look like a farmer?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's a
A
little bit
nice
about.
healthy farmer. I don't know, maybe you just need a straw hat.
I need a haircut. I know that.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
that can be a straw hat. Oh, I know what it can be. It can be thistle down
Yeah.
slide.
It looks like something. Yeah, something like that. And they're a bit bigger, but probably they come in very sizes.
Okay, we have the first word is thistle down. Do you usually see thistle down? Do you usually talk about thistle down? What is thistle down?
This now, I think, is a sort of. It's not a weed. It's something that's sort of.
Thistle? Is it flower with spikes?
Yes, it's a sort of something, but it's not. It's not something. It's not like the flower we see on that table. It's something. It's something a bit dry, a bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
A thistle down is this fluffy thing
Yeah,
which
fluffy.
comes from it and flies around.
Yeah.
So as you say, the thistle down is flying. First of all, you look at something small. It's like you start your field and you catch a little detail, a tiny wee detail. The thistle down is flying. And maybe you just watch one thing flying. Maybe you watch a whole host of them flying, lots of them, maybe. But you look at these little things. You don't look at the big landscape at first. You look at the little thistle down flying. A thistle, again,
Don't
it's
you
not
imagine-
something
do
you
you imagine-
plant in your garden. It's a wildflower. Yeah.
Don't you imagine that? Again, typical for some autumn pictures, if you know what I mean. There's a road, something, in the field, can be, I think it's erode in the field.
And the winds are all still.
Do you only think when the camera is down?
Who knows? It wants a new battery again. It's fully charged. It just wants a new battery. Oh, anyway. So, the thistle down is flying, though the winds are all still. We have this strange place where winds are still. And thistle down is flying on its own. It's like it has its own mind.
But somehow, at the beginning, it's something strange, but something friendly at the same time. You don't know it as a person. You might not know the person.
You like thistle. So thistle is spiky, but thistle down is soft. And thistle down is heavy. It's flying, which is light. It's flying, which is movement. But the winds are still.
Yeah, winds are not always nice. So
imagine what kind of a poet you have to be, what kind of a person to see it, to know that it's flying without wind. Oh, and you're intrigued by it. You want to share it with everyone. It's strange. How can it happen? It's flying, though the winds are all still. On the green grass, now lying, now mounting the hill. We have color. Is it autumn color?
Not at all. It's green.
It's green. Is it green? It's black. Yeah, so green grass is something we don't expect to see in an autumn poem. We expect to see yellow grass, dying grass. But no, green grass. And again, we listen to the sound. He's got lots of sounds here. Thistle flying, though winds still.
Green grass.
And green grass. Now lying, now mounting the hill.
Again, the opposite.
The opposite. Flying, lying. We have this internal rhyme. It doesn't just rhyme at the end of lines, it rhymes inwardly too.
Inwardly, and interestingly, it rhymes. The poet rhymes two oppositions: flying and lying.
And again, if you look at the words, lying, he shows us that they're really very close to each other. Lying and lying.
Sort of magic. You add the sound, and it changes.
Yeah, to its opposite.
Yeah, to its opposite.
So you have lying contained in flying, and flying contained in lying. And he can see it. He can see it. It's a very strange person. And now lying, now mounting the hill. What is now lying, now mounting the hill?
The grass.
Ah, of course. He plays with grammar too. So as you read it, green grass now lying, now mounting the hill. And you have this double picture. So on one hand he is talking about grass. Grass is lying, there's no wind, it's long grass, it's lying. Now mounting the hill, you look up and you can see grass growing.
Yeah, covering.
Mounting the hill. But really, if you read attentively and carefully, you see it's thistle down flying. And now it's lying on green grass, and now it's going up the hill. It's thistle down, the fluffy thing. So you have this double picture. It's the grass moving, and this is thistle down moving. It's two different movements, and he describes them together. Because one movement is to see the grass lying, and that's true because he says there's no wind. It's like, and you see it mounting the hill, growing there. And now we have the hill, so the picture gets a bit bigger. And at the same time, it's this thistle down, and if you saw this thistle down, you see it's also true. This fluffy thing, it just moves in air and it comes down, and suddenly it goes up again, up the hill. And he can feel it's alive. It doesn't need any wind to drive it. It's alive, it's moving its own. And it's green grass, very autumny. What else do you see here in these first two lines? Or maybe just in the second line?
There's something I remember about grass. poetry is probably all about associations that come to our minds. And there's association sometimes.
Yes.
The grass in summer can be yellow because there's too much sunshine, too much something. That was the color of the grass I saw in London. I was completely taken by surprise. It was inevitable. Everywhere you looked, it was absolutely yellow.
We have a happy summer and now a happy autumn.
And when you think of opposites, this is probably something. Most likely, this is the strange place where it's all happening. Is not a place somewhere in the center of London. It's somewhere else. If you think, we have the hills, we have all those things. If you think of your own associations, of your own images produced by the poet and the poem, then you probably also make a sort of a contrast between all those urban environments where life is always busy, where there's no grass or the grass is yellow, even and something idyllic, something where there's real life, as you say.
What he really does here is he turns upside down all our expectations of an autumnal poem, all expectations of what we expect to see in autumn. Grass is green, the winds are still. And now we have mounting the hill. Mounting is a beautiful word here. Mounting the hill, turning the hill into a mountain. That's a mountain here. So mounting, like going up, climbing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have the word mountain. So if you go to Britain, you know it's not a very mountainy place, but you have hills, and sometimes you wish it was a real mountain because mountains are cool. Now mounting the hill, because the thistledown is so tiny that even a hill is like a mountain to it. And strangely, we have this imaginary mountain.
If I think of the word mount, I can also think of something connected to horses, to mount horse.
Yes.
And a horse means movement. Then mounting the hill produces sort of double sensation of movement. Mounting the horse, mounting the hill,
and mounting a mountain.
And mounting a mountain.
Yeah. So what we have is just first two lines. We already have something not very typical for a lyrical poem. How is it going? Maybe another minute.
Is it feeling lyrical?
It's feeling lyrical, maybe for another minute. Well, anyway, what you expect from a lyrical poem is impression, is description. What we have here is a lot of movement. No movement is the winds are all still, and already in two lines, flying, still, lying, mounting, lots of movement. It's all like a Van Gogh picture. It's all moving a little bit.
You like Van Gogh?
Ah, he's an interesting guy, yeah. Do you like Van Gogh?
I don't know. I used to. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's been a long time I saw his pictures.
Lovely gallery near Pushkin Museum, the big museum, and they have just the Impressionists. Oh, free floor Impressionists. Oh, that's divine. That's very good. It's your impression. Okay. Still working. So lots of movement. And what happens to the place? First we focus on this little thistle down line. we have the sensation of space, because we say flying and wings. Then it lands, we follow it. As it lands on green grass, it's like magic. It touches the ground and suddenly we can see it. And it's all green grass. And then now mounting the hill. So it's like this a magic sparkle which lights up this world as it flies, so we can see more. Now we see this hill. The hill. And then the spring from the fountain now boils like a pot. Oh, it's a very autumny poem. We talk about spring. If you want to write a poem about autumn, it's a clever thing to talk about the spring. Because you say, no, it's not spring like time of year. It's just a bit of water, you know. You say spring and you say green grass and then you call it autumn.
And it's sort of like we're going backwards in time. Green grass is typical for the summer. Spring is spring. So we're going back into to where things start with.
So what he does here, he's really playing to our expectations. The last thing, the last word we expect to see here is spring. And here it is, a third line from the beginning. It's an amazing paradoxical poem. Oh, everybody should read it. Go read it. The spring from the fountain. Now again we have this sound of this water. That's water from the fountain. And what fountain is it? Spring is a fountain, or fountain is a spring. Now we have spring from fountain. Is it an artificial fountain in a city center, in a park?
Might be, but it's very unlikely in the film. It's something wild. It's something where we are outdoors, and it's something sort of wild, something that happens naturally. It's not something that's arranged by humans.
So what fountains do we know in culture? Do we have any specific fountains which are not in city parks?
Well,
there is one famous.
Famous? No, I don't know any famous. Yes, I know only these waterfalls. They don't look like fountains, but they are very natural, very beautiful.
So maybe if you're in like Scotland, you have lots of waterfalls. Maybe you have a hill, then you have this waterfall. But then again, if you look at it upside down.
Yeah, like a fountain.
Because fountain goes up and the waterfall goes down. So supposing it's a waterfall, then it's all upside down again. Well, one fountain, because fountain is a strange word to use here, in the middle of nowhere, with a thistle flying. One fountain I know is a fountain of eternal youth. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
So that's one big famous fountain. But again,
is it something
it's not
real?
Because it's real. Because it's real. Well, anyway. Lakes, fountains, springs, wells, all magical.
But well is something that goes deep down.
Yeah, but they're all real. Spring from the fountain now boils like a pot. So apparently it's really what he means is like a little spring, but it doesn't just flow. It comes like a little fountain. Apparently, the spring from the fountain.
Is it something that suddenly springs out of nowhere?
Yeah, springing. And if you think of fountain, then you have this fountain of eternal youth, which again is not autumn at all. And the idea of a fountain, when do you have a fountain? When it's hot, you want to refresh yourself, you see a fountain, that's the idea of a fountain. Yeah. And it's more a summary.
Absolutely.
A spring from the fountain now boils like a pot.
There's an image I didn't get, but I think I've read it several times. Because you get the meaning. You probably imagine a big pot with something boiling inside, something hot, or you imagine a teapot, typical for Britain, I suppose.
Oh, I guess.
Britain in the 19th century at least.
Or maybe he means spring like a rivulet, like a little river. You have the spring, which he calls a fountain, and from it you have this rivulet, which he calls a spring. I guess that's what he means, really.
Okay.
And now this rivulet, this little spring, is boiling like a pot. So that's more autumny, because when you have more rain, you have more water, and it's boiling. But already.
This is when something is boiling, it's really hot.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's the point.
So the first part is quiet. And we have green grass, which isn't hot. Green is a calm color. The grass is green, but it's not awfully hot. Like
and we have this thistledown, which is fluffy. Again, not hot. Not
now we have the first indication of a heat. Boils like a pot. Still we talk about it bubbling, but the word boils has a heat in it. Like a pot. And that's funny, now you put a pot in there. You put a pot in your spring. Of course, a pot is not something posh. A pot is something simple.
But it's all about simple things. It's all about natural things.
Yeah, so thistledown is a tiny, simple thing.
Grass is spring. And a pot made of clay or something is also very, very interesting, very simple and natural, unpretentious, but also it can be very beautiful. And probably the point for some people who are reading the poem is that life can be beautiful, things in life can be beautiful, because they're not artificial, because they sort of follow into nature's footsteps. And even if you make something with your own hands, like a pot, you also use all things natural.
Again, a pot is domestic. It's something not strange and alien. It's something from your home, from your kitchen, which is like the heart of your home. And while all these things were a bit strange, water boils like a pot. It's not very original if you think about it. Yeah, not very imaginative, like many people would say, but it's working. It's working. It doesn't have to be complicated to work. So we have strange, and phew! Now that's something I can grasp, something I understand. Water boils like hot. Phew! Pause. Have a little rest. Because if you just have strange upon strange, then eventually your mind just goes, bah, too much for me, I'm not reading. So you need to make little stops and put something more ordinary and expected. Then again, as you read it and it's unexpected, then you don't expect the expected. And that comes as a surprise too. Now boils like a pot. Again, that's movement. Boiling is movement.
It's very effective.
And here it is the word now. Now lying, now mouth. You're a very silly thing. Stop tearing off.
That's a very poetical thing. Stop. Stop. You told it to stop.
Don't stop. until we tell you to. Okay? Well, anyway, all this movement and
movement, and then
low turns into true.
there's
Through stones past the counting. So you have movement. If you say through stones past, and then you think past the tree or past the hill, past like moving past. But no, it's like past the counting. You have so many stones in that spring, you can't count them. So again, he uses the word past to create two impressions, two meanings. Through plus past means movement, and past plus counting means too many.
And if you think about stones, stone is something not very dynamic. It just sits there.
So we have spring contrasting with stones.
On the other hand,
and the flow, which is bubbling and boiling, and stones, lots and lots of like little stars in the sky. They just fly there.
And then sort of it probably creates movement because you start counting the stones and you can't really count them all. So there's not just a big stone that sits there and does nothing. There are lots and lots and lots of stones, probably little stars. And then it creates movement unexpectedly.
Now the thing which happens here is we say now, past. So we move, and now off. Now it's past. Past the counting. And again, if you say past the counting, then inevitably there is someone who stands there and does the counting and can't do it. There is too much, too many. We have this hero who is invisible, who is present. Past the counting, who counts them? I do. Past the counting, it bubbles red hot. So boils, now bubbles, and boils like heat, and now red hot. So he prepares this red hot by the word boil in the previous line. Now book boils becomes the bubbles. We connect it, and also we connect it by the place in the line. So they correspond: spring, stones, boils, bubbles. It's in the same places.
Yeah.
So fountain rhymes with counting. We connect these lines. Boils connects with bubbles, and spring with stones, and through connects with though in the beginning. Somehow red hot. Now we have another color. Green grass turns into red hot. Hot, red hot.
And is it an autumn color? Red? You can have red leaves, but they're not really red. They are sort of burgundy.
No, they can be red. They can be red. But can you see red water?
Yeah.
Bubbling, red hot.
No.
What can be red hot?
Is it the word? The thing you use?
Metal. Metal can be red hot.
Yeah.
So if you say hot
in a fireplace, it can
you
get
say hot here, then it can be red hot.
Yeah.
Again, that's
you can imagine a nine or something if you know what I mean. A nine that you use to iron things, an old iron.
But now, again, we expect to see something red or yellow in an autumnal poem, but we don't expect it to be water. How can ever water be red boiling?
And we don't really expect it to be hot if it's autumn. It's cold. My recollection of autumn living.
Okay, let's play a game. Let's pretend we're very rational. How can you explain red hot bubbling water? Why is it red?
It can be.
Apart from it being very nicely rhyming with green grass and red water.
Well, if you think about physics,
In autumn.
in autumn, it can be red hot, or it can be red because there's a reflection of something red.
What?
Well, it can be sun. The sun, the rising sun is it red, or the sun that's going down can be red, and then it's reflected. Again.
And now the explanation is chemical.
Chemical. No. Chemical meaning there's something in the water that makes it red.
What can it make it red?
Well, it's not red, it's sort of brown. So I can't.
No, you think it's tea?
Oh, it's
tea.
You told me be rational. There's a pot and there's water boiling. Then the only rational thing that connects boiling water in the pot is
either this water turns into metal, which is another crazy thing he does in this poem. He does all these crazy things on every step. That's one explanation. Another explanation is that it really catches the reflection of maybe a setting sun, or maybe it has lots of iron in it, or red clay, so water is red, literally. And then it's boiling, and you think, it's red not because it has something in it, but because it's so hot.
There is something special about certain springs which have hot water in them. I don't know whether it changes, but it can't really go red, as far as I understand.
No.
I've never seen one, I've heard of it. I don't know, can't you imagine it like something that happens because the spring is emerging from the lake, and there's lots of hot things down there somewhere.
Or maybe
volcanoes, things
oh,
like
that's
that.
a volcano, it's lava! It's a lava spring! Oh dear me. We've discovered the lava spring. Maybe he really only means it bubbles.
You know, sometimes there's something about these springs in Iceland. They can be hot, and I imagine they can be all sorts of wild colors. I don't know.
But here, if it's an English landscape or British landscape, maybe he only means that you have so many bubbles that if you had a pot, it would be red hot to make such bubbles. Maybe that's what he means. To make us see these bubbles. Bubbles red hot. Like a pot which bubbles red hot. So red hot is really the pot and not water. Oh, that's poetry. So that was our first stanza. It's working.
It looks like.
So you see the first stanza. Yeah. Another minute. First stanza. Well, it's another minute. We can have a biscuit meantime.
You can have it.
Fancy a biscuit? No, not correct.
Very silent, very concentrated to me. No biscuits. Is that okay?
Okay, on and going. Okay, so apart from color, apart from movement, we also have a play with sound. It's pan-dimensional technology which turns itself off every 10 minutes or so. But we'll manage. We'll manage. I think that looks... How does it look like? Oh, there's some tea. Okay, there's some nice pictures. I don't know. Okay. Phew! Second stanza at last. Just an hour later, we got to the second stanza. Okay, you guys at home, you should read it. You should tell everybody about this poem. The ground Parson Craig is like overbaked bread. We had all this green, juicy grass and water. Now it's all gone. Suddenly, where did it go? We don't know, but suddenly the ground is sparse and Craig like overbaked bread. It's dry and dead. In the blink of an eye. It's like another stanza, another reality, another universe. Then again, we have this image of the pot in the first stanza. Now we have overbaked bread. Again, something domestic. And again, people usually say, oh, the ground parched Craig like overbaked bread. It's not poetry, it's for school kids. It's not, there's no imagination in it. But it's working. For the same reason, we have too much strangeness. And if you read
overbaked bread is a nice thing.
Is it?
It's a nice, well, it's a nice thing to mention. And very often, overbaked bread is something really, really nice. Sometimes things you overbake, sometimes things you overcook are even better than the things as they should.
Maybe, but what happens here? We have a pot, now we have bread, all those domestic things.
Yeah.
And overbaked. Baking is hot, overbaked. Again, you feel this hotness in the word overbaked. Bread. The ground parched. Why parched? And cracked. It's really, really, really dry, like parchment.
But what happened to all the grass?
Yeah, that's the question. It's all left in the first stanza. So you look here and you show this idyllic picture. Really, 5 steps away, you move your camera. Oh, what do you see? It's all dead here. How can it be? I don't know. That's how you make films. You choose the little bit which you like, you film it very closely, and you say it's all there is. And then somebody else comes with another camera, 5 steps away, and says, no, it's all dead and parched. And who is right? Who is right? The ground parched and cracked, to have cracks like overbaked bread. The green sort all wrapped is, so cracked, wrapped, bent, dried up and dead. What happens here? We had the return of green, had green grass, now green sward. What's green sward?
Green sward is something green that grows on top of turf or something.
So for a second you see this green thing again, it's long, and then you see it's all wrecked is, then it's destroyed right before your eyes. Because you have the word green, you can see the greenness.
And it's
Something
dried
all
up.
wrecked is.
Yeah, and it's dried up. So
It's cracked, because we rhyme with wrecked. So all you say about ground, parched and cracked, we also think of green sword here. Green sword all wrecked is bent, dried up and dead. And you're like, oh, phew, finally, that's more like autumn. Dried up and dead. Again, people who read it, I guess they say, oh, still, hill, hot bread, that it's a very imaginative rhymes. I think it's working. So the rhyme is simple, like the picture, because we're not interested in showing off and in inventing clever rhymes here. or baked bread, dried up and dead. So the baked, the bread, and then the dried and the dead. And the first part is ground and greens, or so we write these two lines not only by the last word but also by sounds. We using them ground, the baked bread, and then green salt, and then dried and dead, and cracked and wrapped, rhyming firmly in the middle. And then is the structure, cracked is, wrapped is. So why do you do it? Why don't you write in a normal way? Why don't you say the ground is parched and cracked, all like overbaked bread, and the green salt is wrapped, bent, dried up and dead? Why do you keep moving it?
Probably because the word movement is the key word. There's movement everywhere in the body.
Yeah. So when you change the normal structure, you add a bit of to it.
When you change something normal, something that people usually expect from you grab their attention, and you probably keep going for much longer than if you only use these routine things that they are accustomed to. On the other hand, you are not using the images, you're not creating the images that are only possible to imagine for you as a poet. There's always something simple, something easy to imagine, something that everybody can imagine. And then it means that these things, like whistle down, grass, even these little parts of water or stones, are all simple things, things that are everywhere, things that we see every day. But somehow we don't really pay attention to these things. We don't really notice these things. Most of the time they are non-existent. There is nothing. Here
we are reminded.
We are reminded that they exist and that they are beautiful indeed.
So again, we have our first stanza. It starts and the image is a little bit strange. Still wind is a bit strange, but the whistle down flying is normal. Then we look at the spring, and again, it's sort of fine, but there is something strange about it. How can it be boiling red hot? Very strange. Now we come here, and again, this idyllic landscape is not so idyllic now. Now it's parched and cracked and wrapped. So first we create this juicy world in the first stanza, and then we begin to squeeze it and to bend it. We have the word bend. So what we do is we are bending this picture. Yeah? And parched and cracked and wrapped. That's what we do. We have this whole holistic picture, and then we put cracks in it, a bit of destruction here, a bit of destruction there. Overbaked bread, dried up and dead. So we are reminded that even though we have nice sunny autumn, it still leads to death eventually. Dried up, that's dead. Dead, just openly dead. The bent, the dry, the dead, the bread, the baked. All those hard sounds: baked, bread, bent, dried up, and the dead. Stop turning off. At least let me know if you're turning off. So all those sounds, melodical beginnings, and you just rack it and crack it. And then we have the fallow fields. So fallow field is very poetic. On one hand, it's just technical. You describe the kind of a field. On the other hand, you have the sound, fallow field. So fallow is like fall, like hollow, fallow field. And what kind of a field is it? So we had green grass just growing. Then we had ground, just ground, nothing growing at all, parched and cracked. Then we had green soil. Now we have fallow fields,
which are meant for future production.
Which are not productive now.
Which are not productive now, but next year comes and they will turn green. They expect spring to arrive.
Means like empty.
Means empty. But isn't there an image of expectation also associated with these fields? They're not empty because they are dead. They're just sleeping. They're just waiting. They are sort of, they're having some rest and recreation, and then they are going to.
And also, if we have, the first times we have spring in it, here we have fall, the fall in it. So maybe the fall fields, like the fields of the fall of autumn, a little bit. And they glitter. Can you see a field which is empty, uncultivated, and it's glittering? What can be glittering there? Like water indeed.
The problem is, if it's covered with water, it can glitter, but it's not covered with water in this form. It's just
what
light.
Can glitter in the fallow fields?
Stones? Are there any stones? No. Flowers? Are there any flowers? I don't know.
Okay, we will know soon. But just now, let's see.
You know, these little insects?
Yeah, could be. Like water. So we had red hot in first stanza, have green and red, green, and now glitter. Glitter is light. Glittering. We don't know what is glittering there. It's strange, because you don't say that the field is glittering. The water is glittering, yes, but here water is red hot like iron. So you see what happens here, this transformation. Water turns into metal, it's red hot. Land, earth, turns into water, it's glittering. It's all upside down. It's a crazy thing, crazy place. Like water indeed. So the first part of the second stanza is completely dry, cracked, parched, wrecked, dried, dead. And then suddenly this dead, dry place is full of water. Is water. This waterless place is water. How can it be? If you're a poet, no problem. Glitter like water indeed. Yeah? So we have water back, but it's mystical water, it's not real water. It's strange water. And gossamers, from weed onto weed. Another really crazy image. What gossamers?
Isn't it a thing that spiders produce small
yeah, tiny
threads,
bits of spider web.
Yeah.
How can they twitter? So if you don't know what gossamers are,
You think of a bird.
you think of little birds which sit in the field. They twitter, they fly from weed to weed, little flocks, like goldfinches maybe. Yeah. But here, it's spiderweb, it's gossamers. How can they twitter? How can they talk? How can they make sounds? Maybe they're not talking with sound, maybe they're talking with movement. They twitter. Who knows? Gossamers twitter. So glitter twitter. Glitter twitter is something light in sound. Glitter twitter. Gossamers, again something light. So we have this 2 stanzas of heavy land, very heavy, dried up, dying. We had fallow fields, which again heavy. And then it turns into water flowing or standing, glittering. Glitter is light, something very, very light. And then gossamers, again very light. So we have heaviness turning into lightness again.
Yeah, and then when you use the word light, you're playing with the word. Light.
Light like rays
reflection,
of light.
yeah, rays of light.
Light like not heavy. Twitter. So again that's a movement of a sound. At the same time we can see these little spider webs glittering. They glitter. They make it look like water, apparently. And we see little birds flying because the birds twitter. The word twitter is from birds. And glitter is from gossamers. You combine, you say gossamers twitter, you see the birds. And you see the spider web flying from weed onto weed. You have this movement, this trembling gossamers. You see this weed onto weed. Again, it's movement. It's how you move your eyes. And flung. Again, follow fields, now flung, flow. You connect them. Weed onto weed. Again, if you look at weeds, you think about little birds, really.
And connection is also very important. You have all sorts of things that get interconnected.
Just checking. Yeah, they're all connected. And gossamers connect things, like little bridges.
And
So
then on a larger level, everything in this poem, everything in this strange place where we are, to which we are transported, is interconnected in a very strange and unexpected way.
Yeah,
And
it's really like little cobwebs which take
yeah,
the
so
tree.
the words, yeah, gossamers appear not by accident. It's also something that's...
Yeah, also if you say gossamers, so it's a little bit like gossip, whisper, gossamers. It's a whispering word because you have gossamers.
Yeah. Yeah. So they produce certain sounds that might sound like gossip, might sound like Twitter.
And again, a flung is like fly, that's birds again. From reason to reason.
Can you fling a stone? I don't know.
And again, you say weed. It's not big, it's not important usually. And we don't care what exactly is this weed, just from weed onto weed. Or again, thistledown's fly, now weed onto weed. Maybe it's the same thistle, or maybe it's something else. But we connect these two stanzas, weed and thistledown. We show that really it looks a bit different, but it's the same place, same reality united. We show it's the same place because we have. It's not two different places, the first stanza and the second stanza, it's the same place. It's the same place. We show it by these connections between words.
An idea.
And again we have movement.
We have movement, we have
Flying gossamers, glittering like water, it's all movement.
and we have focus on something we don't usually focus on. Weeds are very unimportant. Gossamers are often not seen.
And so we have this wide shot where we have the field, and then we have this close shot when we have tiny little gossamers, which is really, really light, really fragile, airy-fairy. free! Finally, can it be? Hilltops like hot iron glitter bright in the sun. The rivers are iron, burnt gold is their own. Burning hot is the ground, liquid gold is the... Says, no, I don't want fully charged batteries, they're not good enough for me. Oh. So, and the glitter...
this big round
you want
thing.
Big biscuit.
Big biscuit.
You can have it if you work. Okay. Glitter. Where do you have glitter? Hollow filled glitter. So when you say hilltops like hot iron, glitter, bright in the sun, what you do? You connect these three different images into one. You have you repeat the word glitter, and if you're a good poet, you don't really care. If you're a bad poet, you're like, no, I'm not supposed to repeat the same word twice in one poem. I have to think of another word. Where is my poetic dictionary of synonyms? If you're a good poet, you don't care. You say glitter and glitter, because it's a beautiful word, and no matter how often you repeat those words. Okay, BBC is not sorry about it. So, finally we see the sun. We could see the reflection of the sun before, but only now it's a straight